time now for everybody's favorite guessing game, What's My Line? Brought to you by New Stopette, America's leading spray deodorant. The lotion spray deodorant that's like balm to your skin. Ooh, there goes perspiration. Now let's all play What's My Line?
Now let's meet our award-winning What's My Line panel. First, the delightful star of stage and television, Miss Arlene Francis.
And I have a secret, because on my left, as a special guest this evening, moderator turned panelist, just for tonight, Mr. Garry Moore.
And on my left, one of the nation's top columnists, and tonight first vice president in picking up the ball when I drop it, Miss Dorothy Kilgallen.
Thank you, Garry. I hope you're right. And on my left, our publisher panelist and vice president in charge of picking up the ball that Garry drops when I don't pick it up, Mr. Bennett, sir.
On my left, our distinguished panel moderator, who enlightens the public with the news every weekday night and befuddles the panel every Sunday night, John Charles Daly.
Thank you, Billy. Good evening. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to What's My Line. And panel, I've got some grand news for you. Put on your blindfolds, please. Yes. There is again tonight, with respect to our first challenger, an area of identification which requires that you all be blindfolded. This can be a matter of costuming, could be a matter of personal identification for one member or another of the panel or all of you, but it's a requirement, unhappily, that we have to lay against you, even though I know it's something of a job for all of you. We've got a lot of interesting occupations and a lot of nice panelists. We'll have a famous guest challenger before this group of friends of mine in just a little while, but I think now that the blindfolds seem to be all in place, it's time to meet our first challenger. Are all the blindfolds all right, panel?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good. Will you come in then, first challenger, and sign in, please? All right. I would ask you, first of all, if you're familiar with our scoring system. All right, if you're familiar with the scoring system, let's let everybody here in the theater and the folks who are at home know exactly what your line is. All right, panel, we give you one little bit of help. Our guest is salaried, and we'll begin the general questioning with Bennett, Cerf.
Well, are we wearing our blindfolds, sir, because we might recognize your face if we saw it? Or, sir, it might be a lady. I saw that.
You might.
It is a man.
What?
Yeah, you might was the answer.
We mind?
Mm-hmm.
Are you associated in any way with the entertainment business?
Yes.
I can't hear you.
Yes.
Has a deep voice,
Very
Bennett.
deep.
Very deep voice, yeah.
Do you do any singing of any kind?
Not much, no.
No, I think no is right for that. That's 1 down and 9 to go, Miss Francis.
Well, are you part of the sports world?
Yes.
Has your name been in the public prints this last week?
I don't know.
I would think it's a reasonably good assumption that it has been, Miss Arlene.
Well, I know that the baseball season is underway. Are you associated with baseball?
Yes.
Oh, jolly good. If you're a player, why aren't you in training?
This is a question we just can't answer, that's all.
Are you a player?
No.
Fine
might
choice,
know.
Miss Arlene. 2 down and 8 to go, Mr. Moore.
You have a voice 2 octaves lower than a kumquat, whatever occupation may be. You are then in the, I gather, in the managerial end of baseball?
No.
That makes it 2 down. 3 down and 7 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Does managerial, I'm not very good on baseball, as you know, John, but does managerial rule out ownership? Would that be part of management?
No, I would think there that we would take Gary's question specifically because of baseball terminology to mean the manager of a team as a working head of the sports organization.
I can knock this off a different way. Have you and I ever danced together?
No.
That's 4 down and 6 to go, Bennett.
Well, that helps me a lot.
But
that
you may.
Never danced with Dorothy. Oh, she says it's not Hank Greenberg. Would you be in any way connected with the executive side of baseball?
I might.
I can't hear you.
I might.
You might.
Yeah, I think the answer would be reasonably yes there, Bennett.
Well, now, would you say you were a member of the top hierarchy in baseball?
Yes.
Well, are you the very top?
Some question about that.
I mean, when the owners allow you to be top, are you Ford Frick?
Yes.
Are you? Good boy.
It is indeed. Ford Frick with a Phoenix tan. You've been out where the baseball teams are practicing for the, opening day is what, April 16th?
April 17th.
April 17th. The president going to throw out the first ball?
He is.
He
We
is
hope,
gonna.
and I think he will. He says he will.
I think the last word I forward was that he was planning to attend and throw out the first ball this year,
Good.
right?
Good.
Well, now, it's wonderful to have you here. Just the baseball season opens up, and I should have a whole flock of questions to ask you, like who's going to win in the National League and who's going to win in the American League. But I'm not going to ask you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Seriously, though, Ford, it's wonderful to have you here because you hear occasionally nowadays, oh, to be sure, it's just a rare word or two, that baseball's losing its popularity. Do you think there's anything of that?
Well, I've heard baseball is dying. I don't know what constitutes death, but I would say it's a very lively corpse. Attendance in baseball today is 50% higher than it was before the war. There are twice as many colleges playing, twice as many high schools. There are more youngsters playing baseball than ever before in history. No, I think we're going to survive.
May I ask a question?
Yes, Bennett.
Would you like to see Leo DeRocha back in baseball, Mr. Frick?
That's a loaded question, but the answer is yes.
Thank you very much, Ford. All right, panel, a very excellent beginning. Let's see what you can do with our second challenger now. Will you come in and sign in, please, sir?
Mr. Sweat.
Philip Harbin, is that right, sir? Just a second. Just a minute now. You want that piece of chalk? You can certainly have it.
No, it's all yours.
All right, fine. We'll stick it up there if you don't mind.
Right.
Would you mind telling us where you're from, sir?
From London, England.
From London, England. Fine. It's nice to have you with us. This is the panel here. I think we'll do a little bit of switch on usual custom right at this time in the show. Will you look at the panel? Panel, that's all you're going to see. Mr. Harbin, you come with me. Mr. Harbin, sit down right here, if you will, please. And I wonder if, coming all the way from London, you're familiar with our scoring system. Has it been explained to you?
Yes, it has.
Good. If you know what it is, we'll let everybody at home and here with us in the theater know exactly what your line is. All right. Panel, Mr. Harbin, by the terms of reference of our program, is salaried. And we'll begin the general questioning with Dorothy Kilgallen.
Mr. Harbin, do you work normally someplace other than in New York?
Yes, other than in New York.
Do you work for a profit-making organization?
No.
That's 1 down and 9 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Well, in other words, Mr. Harbin, may I presume that you have something to do with the British government?
No.
No?
That's 2 down and 8 to go, Miss Francis.
He has nothing to do with the British government.
Nope.
The British government has something to do with it, but I have nothing to do with the British government.
Well, then you don't have a government job.
No.
Yes, Mr. Harbin does not have a government job.
I do not have
no.
a government job, no.
Uh-huh. Do people come to you in your work?
No, they do not.
That's 3 down and 7 to go, Mr. Moore.
A couple of nasty Snickers out there. Are people involved in these services that you perform?
No, I alone am involved.
Ah. That makes it 4 down and 6 to go. Miss Kilgallen.
Then, Mr. Harbin, your work is something that you could do all by yourself, wherever it is you do it?
I can and do. All by myself.
Do you work in an enclosure?
Do I work? What?
Do you work in an enclosure?
Yes, in an enclosure.
Is it on the ground when you work in it?
It could be on the ground or on any floor.
But it is attached to terra firma.
That's right. And the more firmer, the less
It
terror.
is physically attached to terra firma, yes.
Would it ever be described as an office or study?
Study, yes. Office, no.
Should I have my choice?
I would say this, if Mr. Harbin will permit me. We would not, I think, in our speech use, determine that this was an office or a study.
But I'm trying to speak his language.
Well, that's fine, and you two have lots of fun, and I'll give you a no. All right? That makes it 5 down and 5 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Mr. Harbin, have you got anything to do with radio or television?
Yes,
You have.
I have.
Are you connected in any way with either BBC or that new paid television job they've got over in England?
Yes, I'm afraid so, yes.
Would it be BBC?
It would be BBC, mostly, yes.
Well, now, Harbin, have you ever appeared on What's My Line on the English panel?
Yes, I have.
I've never seen such a stunned expression on you, Bennett, in all
Well, you're not that chap we read about who insults people.
No.
The question was asked negatively, so you got a negative reply, and 2 no's add
No,
up to
I
yes,
never,
so you're still
I
there.
never insult anybody.
Well, are you a regular panelist on What's My Line?
No.
in England?
That's 6 down and 4 to go, Miss Francis.
No, well, he said he didn't work with anybody. He worked alone, so he couldn't be a panelist. He couldn't be a moderator. He can't even be the janitor of the building. Did you appear as a guest? Is that what you did on
As a
What's
guest,
My
yes.
Line? When you work alone in this place that might be a study in your terminology, is there equipment in it that would be unusual to us that we might not have in our laboratory?
I think you would have the same equipment that I have.
Would I now?
Yeah, the same equipment would be
You
available
would have
to
it.
us here.
You
so
would
that,
have it, yes.
Yeah, that gives it no answer, and 7 down
I
and 3
meant
to go.
myself, you know. I don't mean just America.
I
mean,
know for a fact that you do have it.
you have been
Don't
peeking.
say any more, Mr. Don't give her any more information. That's 7 down and 3 to go, and I'm going to give you 1 more minute. Garry Moore.
Is it a popular program over there, sir?
Oh, yes. I like to think so, anyway.
I was just wondering if it were how you could do it all by yourself.
No,
you were
he appeared as a
surprised.
guest.
You appeared as a guest, but no one else wasn't. There were no other people.
Maybe
No, but only at his profession.
Maybe
It's
the
on the
director.
conference.
Gary may be the director of the
Yeah. Is it possible you all would like to have a conference?
I think we just had one. I didn't get much out of it, but he does something in a small room all by himself on What's My Line.
No.
Let me straighten something out. Now, Mr. Harbin has appeared on What's My Line as a guest.
You mean that is
This-
immaterial?
This was just an occasional or a one-time or just a one-time appearance. We're not talking about his basic assignment. We were talking about What's My Line.
Are you a hermit?
How did you get?
That makes it 8 down and 2 to go. I will give. You want to have a 10-second conference
I
before I
have a
flip the rest
reading,
of the
but
cards?
it's so small, it's not like
Maybe
yours.
he runs.
Maybe he's a writer.
Well, I
or
was thinking of
somebody
the
who
art.
works
That's why
alone.
when I
Part
said
of the
study,
director
I
of
thought,
BBC, one of the directors.
No,
No,
that's the government.
He has nothing to
no,
do
that's
with
the
that.
government. He has nothing to do with that.
The director is never in a room by
Let's
himself.
find out if he is
Should be.
creative. Could we find that out?
Find that out.
Are
Go
you
ahead.
creative,
This is more
sir?
fun than we've had in a long time.
Are you creative?
Yes, I am.
Do you create something which entertains or enlightens or amuses people?
Yes, all 3.
Does it have anything to do with the written word?
For the purposes of this question, no.
Flip the rest.
Now,
You'll never get it, Bennett. You might as well let me
I'll
tell
give
you
up.
all. Mr. Harbin demonstrates cooking on TV, on the BBC, as a cooking show. Actually, Mr. Harbin is such an expert in this field, we were a little bit afraid of the young ladies in our pen. He's written 10 books
I
on
know
cooking.
it, and I've had his book on my show. And I didn't have his picture. Oh,
Anyway, I'm here really under the auspices of the British Travel Association to tell people in America that in Britain you can eat like a king.
Yes, I should
I
think
just
you
want to
can,
give
Mr.
him a
Harbin.
lesson, John.
Wait just a minute.
I think as long as we missed Mr. Harbin's occupation, we ought to give him a Remington Rand shaver.
Thank you very much. We had a grand time. We'll meet tonight's mystery guest in just a moment, but first, here is a message from Stopette.
Oh, for a deodorant that can't tell time. A deodorant as effective late night as it is early morning. And here it is, the exciting
Big new Stop-It stick.
newest achievement of famous creative chemist Dr. Jules Montagnier. The big new Stop-It stick is a wonderful new kind of deodorant and antiperspirant. It's as pleasant and easy to use as a solid cologne stick. The big new Stop-It stick turns at a touch from solid to vapor to the essence of a new Stop-It protection for you. Only new Stop-It protection remains, keeping perspiration and odor away all day. Nothing sticky or uncomfortable is left to irritate skin or harm fabrics. Even if you aren't any more active than this, you need the reassuring effectiveness of the big new Stop-It stick. It's your move.
Big new Stop-It stick.
And now we come to the special feature of our program, the appearance of our mystery celebrity, for which, once again, my friends on the panel are blindfolded. Blindfolds all in place, panel?
Yes, sir.
Good. Will you come in, mystery challenger, and sign in, please? All right, panel, as you know, in the case of our mystery guest, we go to a different form of questioning. You will ask one question at a time, in turn, moving clockwise. And let's begin with Arlene Francis.
Can you cook? No. Are you associated with one of the lively arts?
Come, non ho capito molto bene. Mi scusi tanto.
I think that means
Non ho
yes.
capito molto bene.
Just say yes.
Che
it'll be
dis-
all right.
yes.
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 Right.
Sì,
Yes.
yes, sì.
Mr. Moore?
She's obviously closely associated with John. All she said is yes so far. Are you Italian?
Sì, del cuore. Io sono italiana. I am... No.
No.
Come on, let's not play dirty now.
That's one down and 9 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Are you Scandinavian? No, signora.
2 down a date to go, Mr. Cerf.
Have you got anything to do with the motion picture industry?
The movies.
The movie.
The
Cinema.
Yes,
Oui.
the cinema, sì.
Yes, cinema.
Sì,
Oui,
sì.
oui, oui. Yes, Miss Francis?
Are you a leading woman?
Come? How?
Are you a leading woman? I'd say you're leading them up the garden path.
Oh,
well.
Sì, I
Sì,
think so.
sì,
Sì, yes.
sì, oui.
Yes, scusi.
Mr. Moore.
Yeah, where did I come in? Are you a leading woman with a fake accent?
Should I say in Yes, to that, Mr. Daly?
Daly.
Daly.
See, Miss Kilgallen.
Are you actually an American motion picture actress playing leading ladies?
How plain can I be?
What?
Playing. Oh,
Plain or playing?
Playing leading ladies.
Playing
chiefly.
leading ladies.
Yes.
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 Mr. Cerf.
Are you married to a gentleman who is also reasonably well known?
No.
That's 3 down and 7 to go, Miss Francis.
I don't know whether that kind of a no means she isn't married at all, or she
Doesn't think he's well
doesn't
known.
think he's well.
Well, maybe he is, and she wishes he weren't.
Are you here because of the opening of a new picture that you are? No.
That makes it 4 down and 6 to go, Mr. Moore.
You have a brunette voice. Are you brunette?
Brunette, si.
Si.
Yes.
Si. Miss Kilgallen.
I can't think of a thing to ask. Well, I'll straighten out Arlene's question. Are you unmarried?
Yes.
Mr. Cerf.
Do you
Recently?
Do you ever sing or dance in the pictures that you play?
No.
That makes it 5 down and 5 to go, Miss Francis.
Are you associated with one particular studio? No.
6 down and 4 to go, Garry Moore.
Were you recently a nominee for one of the Academy Awards?
Que peccato, no.
7 down and 3 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Have you ever made a movie in Italy?
Si.
Mr. Cerf.
Oh, but you said you were a brunette. Okay, go ahead.
I know, but that doesn't
That
always
doesn't
hold.
mean this week. This week. Have you ever starred in a dramatic picture?
Yes. Many, many.
Miss
I
Francis.
know who it is.
Are you, I don't know. I'm just going to take a chance to. Are you Linda Darnell? It was fun.
That was lots of fun, I must
Really?
say. That Italian threw you all for a real
Oh,
wide
entirely.
running around the bases.
Yes, but I knew that the voice was terribly familiar to me, and I knew it was somebody with whom I had talked at great length off of a show. And the last
That's
time
right,
Linda was in
Garry.
town,
Yes,
she was
indeed.
on our show, and we spent a night.
Well, sir, what? I'm not married. It's all right. Go ahead.
Yes, but I am.
I beg your pardon.
Now, actually, you've been playing in Tea and Sympathy around the country, haven't you?
I did it in Miami,
Yeah,
John.
wonderful.
It's my first sort of real stage venture, and I must say I'm in love with the theater.
Yeah, you like the theater.
Yes, I
Also, a
adore
very
it.
smart girl. You play this in Miami in the wintertime, you know. This takes a lot
yes.
of This is the time to do it.
Aren't you going to be with us when our girls go off to the wedding?
Yes, sir, if I'm really
Something
invited. I would be delighted to. I'd hate to be in your spots, incidentally.
Yeah. They do a wonderful job.
Very dangerous.
But you gave them a rough time.
Oh, I'm so glad. How much money did we make?
Well, we'll flip the rest of the cards and you can do what you
Can
want.
we? Can
Sure.
we donate it possibly to the boys' towns of Italy?
There it goes,
Because
at your direction.
that's wonderful.
All righty.
And panel, thank you. I wish I could have thought of something more to do. I wanted to make much more money for the boys' towns of
You
Italy.
did it wonderfully, Don.
Thank
Thanks
you,
for
John.
being our
Thank
guest.
you,
Glad to
panel.
have you
God
with us. Will you say goodnight to the family? Well, we have actually, panel, one of those tests now. We'll bring in our last challenger. Will you come in and sign in, please? And we'll try a new trick. Will you sign in right there? I will tell you that our that our challenger has a rather unique occupation. We'll see if you can guess it out of the blue. That is Mr. George Aston, is it, sir? Yes. How are you, sir? Nice to have you with us. Where are you from, Mr. Aston?
From Canada.
From Canada. Will you come over here and sit down next to me? And are you familiar with our scoring system?
Yes, sir.
Good. We'll let the people at home and those in the theater with us know what your line is. And there you are. All right, now, panel, you have roughly about a minute and a half to see if you can guess what is a unique occupation. Mr. Aston is self-employed. We'll begin it all with Garry Moore.
You're self-employed. You look like an outdoors man somehow to me, sir. Is your occupation outdoors?
Yes, sir.
Is it, when I say outdoors, now let's say outdoors in the country as opposed to outdoors in the city. Is it a rural?
Both.
Both.
Mm-hmm.
Do you use a tool, a specific tool in what you do?
No, sir. That's 1 down and 9 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Do you wear anything other than an ordinary suit, any sort of uniform when you work?
No, ma'am. 2 down and 8 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Do you show people anything?
Yes, sir.
Could you be considered in the nature of a guide?
No, sir. That's 3 down and 7 to go, Miss Francis.
Do you have anything to do with animals?
No, ma'am.
I'm sorry.
Not specifically animals. That's 4 down and 6 to go, Mr. Moore.
How about transportation? No?
I have a Buick car. 5 down and 5 to go. Well, Mr. Aston, I'm sorry we ran out of time. I would hope that we would be able to give them a rougher time of it and just get one after another. It's a very unique occupation, as I told you when we started. And Mr. Aston breeds goldfish, about
Outdoors?
10 to 12 million of them every year. Thank you very much, Mr. Aston. It was nice to have you with us on What's My Line. Good night. We'll be back in just a moment, but first, here is a word from Stop-Ets.
When you're the most active, can your deodorant keep up with you? This one does. The exciting
Big new Stop-Et stick.
Here's a brand new Stop-Et in a brand new form. The jar keeps your Stop-Et stick always new and effective. The plastic push-up tube keeps your fingers always neat. As pleasant to use as a solid cologne stick. The new Stop-Et stick turns at a touch from solid to vapor to a new Stop-Et protection. Why, perspiration and odor stay well out of your way and all day. Yet, for all its protection, the new Stop-Et stick is completely safe for fabrics, and it has such a clean, minty fragrance.
Big new Stop-Et stick.
Get the big, big, big stick of the new Stop-Et stick for only 79 cents plus tax.
Big new Stop-Et stick.
And now, before our panel says goodnight, may I remind you to tune in again next Sunday evening at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, when once again we invite you to play What's My Line. For other localities, check your local listings for the date and time of our weekly series. And now, a word from next week's sponsor.
Remington.
Remington. Remington. Remington now guarantees.
Pay attention, Mac.
Cleaner shaves for 15 days.
Or your money back.
Thank you, Brushface. That's right, friends. Remington now guarantees cleaner shaves. So pick up a Remington on the 15-day free home trial plan. You have nothing to lose but your whiskers.
And now, until next week, this is John Daly saying good night, Miss Arlene.
Good night, John. Nice to have had you with us, Garry. Good night.
Thank you. Nice to have been here on It Pays to Be Ignorant. Good night. Good
night, Garry. Good night, Bennett.
Nice to have you, Garry. Good night, John.
Good night, Bennett. And may I say all of our thanks for the great many letters and telegrams and phone calls that we got this week. We're very grateful to all of you. Good night, and thanks for being with us on What's My Line.
Travel arrangements on What's My Line are made through American Airlines. American Airlines flies our contestants in luxurious comfort aboard DC-7 flagships. This has been a Mark Goodson, Bill Todman production in association with the CBS Television Network.
Are you watching, you little rascals?
Oh, it's fun, isn't it?
And who subscribes to it? Go on, push the button.
Think of the fun you could have on the tube.
The tube?
You.
Tube.
Tube. Tube. Tube.
TV tubes. That's a lot of fun, isn't it?
It's going to be a lot more fun if you keep going the way you're going.
Go on, push the button. Please subscribe.
I hope they're watching.